If you want to record your epic rides on your bike for posterity, there are a couple of options where you can place your action camera. The most common are on top of your helmet, on your forehead, on the chin of your helmet if you're wearing a full face, and on the chest with a chest mount. Of course, you can get creative with mounting stuff on the handlebars or using a 360 camera with a pole on the side of your bike to have some kind of follow cam effect or whatever, but the ones I mentioned earlier are usually the most common. Personally, I'm not really a fan of how the footage looks when my camera is on top of my helmet or on my forehead, so mostly I use the chest mount, but sometimes it's cumbersome to bring that along. That's why I looked into using chin mounts for my cameras. And I have to admit, I didn't really like any of the options I found available. So I decided, hey, I got a 3D printer, maybe I can do it myself. This was the first iteration. It's for the same helmet I use all the time, my Liat, whatever it's called. It's a Liat full-face helmet that you can convert to a half-shell. And this first iteration was mounted from the inside. Basically, you pushed the GoPro mount through those air holes in the front and then tied it down with zip ties, and that was that. But there were a couple of issues with this. One was that I maybe misjudged the angles of the pieces that held them in place directly on the chin, so after a few rides, basically it broke. And the other thing was, since the main part of the chin mount is on the inside of the helmet, what if I fell down on my face and the thing gets pushed inside? That would probably cause a lot of more injuries than would have happened if it wasn't mounted there. So, back to the drawing board, and I decided to put the mount outside of the chin piece of my full-face helmet. And this is what I came up with. I designed everything in Blender and then exported it as an STL file into my slicer program and then sent it to my 3D printer. All the riding footage you see in this video is from this new mount I created. I've only used it for a couple of rides now. I don't bring my camera with me all the time, but even without a camera, it feels stable enough. It does not wobble around, it doesn't disturb me during riding, and I hope, should I ever crash face first, that if it breaks in such a way that it doesn't knock out my teeth or anything. And this is the part where you guys come in, because I'm not really a designer of mountain bike products. My major was business administration and I work in software development, so I really have no idea what I'm doing here. I'm just throwing ideas out there or in there into Blender and into my 3D printer. If you have experience with chin mounts and if you know about the safety risks with them, please let me know down in the comments whether or not I made a mistake here or whether or not the new one is even more dangerous than the original one or what I could improve to make it safer, because safety is my main concern when I mount something onto my helmet, because it should not interfere with anything the helmet provides during a crash. Oh, and if you also own a 3D printer, I'll upload the STL file somewhere. I'll link to it down in the description. Not sure which platform I'm going to put it on yet, probably printables.com, but you'll see when you find the link. Anyway, as usual, we're closing this out with a little bit of riding footage. So I hope you enjoy that, and yeah, let me know in the comments if you also own a 3D printer, and if so, what kind of stuff have you 3D printed for your bike or for your other hobbies? I'm really curious, let me know. Thanks for watching, see you next time. That was a bad landing. I suck at jumping. Oh wow. Okay, so that was the so-called Buchtal Trail. Nice and flowy, lots of jumps that can be rolled if you're not comfortable with them. I tried to jump them, I cased almost all of them. So yeah, still something to improve.